LA Rider America on Two Wheels is brought to you by the Louisiana Office of Tourism Trails and Byways Program. Louisiana is full of stories. Yours begins here. Southeast Louisiana Gumbo, great roads, interesting destinations, and terrific food. Come to Southeast Louisiana. And Houma, Louisiana, your passport to adventure in the heart of Louisiana's wetlands.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Howdy.
Guys, did y'all know that the first motorcycle was actually steam-powered and was built around the time of the Civil War?
Have you been reading again? You know that makes your head hurt.
Actually, I worked on a bike recently that looked like it was from the Civil War, and it had seen quite a few battles.
Seriously, guys, the steel ponies that we ride today have a rich and interesting history, and I hear there's a museum just outside of Birmingham that's devoted to motorcycles.
Of course, TW, you're talking about the Vintage Motorcycle Museum at the Barber Motorsports Park, and I think that sounds like a great place to spend a couple of days. I'm in.
Me too.
Let's ride.
Helmet hair, or is it the wind?
We're here. I'm so excited. And you've seen it before.
Hey, how you girls doing today? Good to see you, Lovey. Good to see you. Good to see you, TW.
And I didn't make it with them last time. I'm
Hey,
Tammy.
Tammy.
I have heard so much about this place.
Yeah, I'm glad that you finally made it out.
Oh,
Lots
me
to see,
too.
lots
I've
to
been
see.
so excited.
Yeah, and I'm glad the girls made it back.
Yeah, we're excited to be here.
We've got some new things that we've put out since you've been here last.
We told Tammy this was one of our favorite places, so we had to make sure we brought her here.
Look,
Did you
this
hear
is
me?
how serious TW is about seeing Barber. She is deathly ill, but she wouldn't miss this for anything in the world. So we're going to help her through. I understand we've got 1 or 2 or 500 bikes to see.
Oh, yeah, we've got plenty on display. We're up to about 625 now on display,
Oh, are
and
you?
we're up to approximately 1,100 in the collection total. So we've
That's
got plenty
amazing.
to see.
So really and truly, the history of the motorcycle is under this roof.
We've pretty much got anything that you're looking for. From time to time, we won't have it, but we've almost always got the first bike that you rode, the bike that you remember your dad riding, your first bike. It pretty much covers the broad spectrum of the whole motorcycle industry.
How did the Barber Vintage Motorsports Museum come about?
How did it come about? It's actually an interesting story. Mr. Barber used to race Porsches back in the mid-60s, and actually very successfully. He has 63 first place finishes. Was always into sports cars and different forms of racing. And one of his employees, Dave Hooper, came up to him one day, and he had already donated 2 of his bikes, 2 rare bikes. A Bergmeister, I believe, was one, and a Matchless G80 was another. And Mr. Barber had been collecting cars for some time. And what Mr. Hooper did was he suggested maybe start collecting some motorcycles. As he did, Mr. Barber realized quickly that not only are there already so many great Chevy, so many great Ford, and so many great different Italian car collections, that it would not only be hard to beat those, the other thing that really appealed to him about motorcycles was you could see all of the workings of a motorcycle. You could see the technical aspect, you could see the suspension, you could see the engine, you could see the seat, the handlebars, all the comfort or lack thereof. And he felt that the motorcycle was a much more beautiful display of working machinery, whether it be a street bike or a race bike. And then he started collecting more and more, and it basically snowballed from there. And that's what led to us being the biggest and most diverse and most accurate motorcycle museum in the world. Race models, for instance, here we have the benefit of that, the reason they designed. There's 3 running. I think you have a gear left, and then click, it's called a power bike.
No, he just finished it.
And then how fast would this go? Located here?
Birmingham, Alabama?
Yes.
Some people ask, why Birmingham, Alabama? Mr. Barber is born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. The Barber name, well, George Barber, his last name, but where it's most well known was Barber Dairies. You'll find Barber milk, Barber ice cream, Barber cheese, everything dairy related was started by his family prior to him, and it's a company that he took over. And back in the early to mid 90s actually sold that to Dean Foods. So Barber Dairies is no longer affiliated with George Barber, but that was his major business that he had prior to this. He's always been a businessman, and he has many different businesses, but this here, the museum and the track as well, are more just a passion of his. This really wasn't a business in the sense that the dairy was, a money-making venture. This was something that he truly just wanted to do, and he did. And we're all better for it, fortunate for it.
Vintage motorcycles.
It's called a Saginaw Moto Wheel, and it's also called a power bike.
No, he just finished this.
Briggs and Stratton. I have a lawnmower by Briggs and Stratton.
What this was a power unit that you could buy from Sears and Roebuck, and you could take your back wheel off of basically any bicycle and bolt this on, and there you have it.
And you have a motorized vehicle.
Yep. Wow. You could still pedal if you wanted to. I mean,
1947. So if you needed the exercise, use the pedals.
Use the pedals.
You need to get to the store quickly.
Okay.
This is the 1960 DSK, and this is a Japanese
knockoff,
rip-off, however you want to say, of one of the original BMW single-cylinder designs. Most of us, I'm sure you as well as I, are used to a transmission that's either 1 down, 4 up, 1 down, 5 up, or reverse, 1 up, 4 down, 1 up, 5 down. This one has what's called a revolving transmission. You click through first, second, third, fourth, and then if you click one more time, it goes right back to first. So you need to know what gear you're in. Here's a good example of an early BMW R50. And if you want to take a shot of the BMW badge, for those of you that don't know what this is, do either of you girls know what this is?
Go ahead.
The actual emblem.
I don't know.
BMW originally built airplane engines, and what that's an example of, if you ever had a propeller coming straight at you, that's the prop wash. That's usually what you'd see. You'd see 2 areas of the prop and 2 areas of the sky behind it. And that's an example of what the BMW badge is. For those of you that have never seen this funky design bike behind us, this is a Gurney Gator. And the reason it's in this section is it was designed and built by Dan Gurney, who raced this car. and the purpose for its low swept seat, its kind of recumbent style, was mainly to get the center of gravity as low as possible. And although it looks strange and it kind of feels like you're riding a recliner, the bike handles surprisingly well.
I fish alligators because it's in my blood, and I love it, and we are the real home of swamp people.
Everything my dad taught me was hands-on about alligator hunting, and look, I still have my hands. If anybody never been to a swamp, you're missing out. You need to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
You'll see alligators that's on land, sunning themselves. You'll see different birds.
So if you want to see the swamp, come out and get on a tour.
You can stay home and watch this on TV.
Or you can come down to Houma and experience it for real.
Come for the party, stay for the race at NOLA Motorsports Park, October 5 to 7. Spectacular AMA Pro Road Racing action and family-friendly attractions that will blow you away. The Big Kahuna, NOLA Motorsports Park, first ever spectator event, October 5th to 7th, the perfect weekend. Get your tickets now by calling 888-280-7848 or visiting m1powersports.com. Ladies get in free on Friday, kids 12 and under are always free.
I'm T.W. Robinson, and if you like riding off the beaten path as much as I do, then you need to check out Louisiana's scenic byways. They've got everything a motorcyclist is looking for. Terrific scenery, good roads, and interesting stories. And of course, the best food in the country. If you want to experience Louisiana, come ride with me off the beaten path.
Louisiana Scenic Byways, motorcycle tours ready-made for riding.
GM Gonzalez, Baton Rouge's top spot for more than 75 years, carrying the best. With brands like Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, ATVs, street bikes, off-road, power equipment, and more. If it's fun and excitement you want, we've got it. Shop online or stop by the capital city's largest showroom. Great deals at great prices every day. GN Gonzalez, it's how you roll.
From magnificent rolling hills to peaceful bayou vistas, Southeast Louisiana is the perfect place for a weekend ride or an extended motorcycle vacation. Take a swamp tour an antebellum home, pass a good time at a Fais d'Odo, or just take a ride along Old Man River. We've got it all. Great destinations, friendly people, incredible food, and authentic music. Come ride Southeast Louisiana. There's a motorcycle memory awaiting you around every corner.
Feeling free as a bird now. Fly little, gonna see the whole world now. Try little. These days are better than before. I want more. These days are better than before. I want more. These days are better than before. I want more.
Geico Insurance. See how much you could save at geico.com.
We're in the back warehouse, and this is where we store a lot of our bikes that are either waiting to be put on display, waiting to be assessed for whatever level of restoration that's going to happen to them, whether it be a correction restoration, a complete restoration, or simply a cleanup to restore it with the original condition that it has. And in this room, we have from the early 1900s all the way around up to 2000 models. And this inventory changes as we bring bikes in and move bikes out on display. How we keep up with the bikes, the tags that we have on the front, and we'll write the year down on that tag, and we'll write the BMC number. And what the BMC number is the number of inventory on which that bike was purchased. So for instance, 557 would be the 557th bike that we purchased. and then we can go to that file, and that file will have the information on that bike, where we got it, how much we paid for it, and different history or literature on the bike. Now the, no, this is the bike I was thinking about. This is 380. But this is a 1960 Honda RC161. Not the most successful in racing, but a very rare piece. There's believed to be only 3 or 4 left in the world, and we own one complete unit here, and across the room over here we have another full replica that we've made around an original engine. And this one we actually received from Kel Carruthers, who had it since 1960 when he had raced it. So the only thing more rare than this that I think Honda has is their 6-cylinder 250, which there's only a couple of those in the world. They're worth a little bit more than this. The majority of this bike's original, aside from the exhaust system, and we're using this as an example in building that bike. My boss, Chuck Honeycutt, has manufactured many of the individual pieces, the front forks, upper and lower triple trees, control linkage for shifting, some of the nuts and bolts, and even got down into the casting of different engine covers. This one will probably turn out to be our demo bike, because so much of it is a replica. It wouldn't be necessarily as expensive or risky to run as the original. That one we do start up from time to time and run it, which just has a beautiful exhaust note. But as far as taking it out for a demo on the track, this would be more likely the bike we use.
Need blue, TW, you need red. I know that matches.
I wish I could talk. He's screaming and jumping for joy, but
I'll interpret for you. This is gorgeous. I love this. That's what TW is saying. This is beautiful. It matches the bike. And she wants it big time. Even take it, it doesn't even have to be red. She said she'll take it in blue.
This bike was a bike that was designed after the DKW RT125, which is a bike that I actually just finished restoring not long ago. The similarities between the two, they have basically the same frame. They have almost exactly the same engine. Another manufacturer that used the same frame, chassis setup, and engine design was BSA.
She's a beauty.
Yes. Definitely would be a looker if you pulled up the bike night on one of these.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute.
Hey, I'm Tad Benoit, and I'm a homegrown home musician.
Got the fever for the bayou, muddy water take me home. Got the fever for the bayou, muddy water take me home. I get high up on the mountain, but I know where I belong. Down the Mississippi River to the Gulf of Mexico.
Down here where the music plays, the blues fall all over you.
Hey, this is Eric Edwards with Livingston Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau. Whether you're looking for a great time on your bike in a more populated city atmosphere like Bass Pro, or you're looking for a scenic tour along LA22, we want to show you how biker-friendly we are right here in Livingston Parish. We have a lot of great rooms, RV parks, and of course the Tickfall State Park. Go to our website, visit livingstonparish.com, or call us, email us, and we'll help your bike ride to be the best it can be. Hope to see you soon on your bike in Livingston Parish.
Only one motorsports company can say all this. Yamaha, the first name in motorsports. Be the first to save big at the Yamaha Time to Ride sales event.
See the entire Yamaha line at Friendly Yamaha at Baton Rouge. From magnificent rolling hills to peaceful bayou vistas, Southeast Louisiana is the perfect place for a weekend ride or an extended motorcycle vacation. Take a swamp tour an antebellum home, pass a good time at a Fais d'Odo, or just take a ride along Old Man River. We've got it all. Great destinations, friendly people, incredible food, and authentic music. Come ride Southeast Louisiana. There's a motorcycle memory awaiting you around every corner.
I'm T.W. Robinson, and if you like riding off the beaten path as much as I do, then you need to check out Louisiana's scenic byways. They've got everything a motorcyclist is looking for. Terrific scenery, good roads, and interesting stories. And of course, the best food in the country. If you want to experience Louisiana, come ride with me off the beaten path.
Louisiana Scenic Byways, motorcycle tours ready-made for riding.
What do you think? We've just spent probably the last 2 hours at one of the most incredible places I've ever seen. What were the highlights today for you?
Well, first of all, I think that we needed at least 10 more hours.
Right.
There was just so much to see in there. It was unbelievable.
What about you? What was a highlight for you?
Probably all the red motorcycles.
You got to see all the colors of red today.
I think I saw every shade of red possible.
Now, the Honda red that he showed you, that he just felt like was the prettiest red on the face of the earth, did you feel that way?
I think he was right.
You felt a connection with that one?
I did.
The only color red we can't duplicate, that's the one you want?
Well, excuse me, I believe I did ask to bring my bike up here, and they were
And he said he would do it.
He was willing to sacrifice his job.
Right. Just to have a ride around the track with you on the bike once it's finished.
Absolutely.
Now,
So,
personally, I'm just glad I got to see Ken again. He is so cute. I just think
And is he smart?
Oh my God! Everything there is to know about motorcycles. He could
knows.
so
That part's
work
very
with
attractive.
me.
His girlfriend was not very excited you were here, though. I don't know why that is.
I bet he loses my number.
I bet he does. And I bet we're not invited back. I hope we got to see everything that we ever wanted to see. But for me, who had never been inside before, I'm a bit overwhelmed, because I'd never imagined, you had told me about it, but I couldn't imagine a place that had so many motorcycles. And for me to see all the predecessors of the Harleys and the Hondas and the race cars, it was just phenomenal. I can't pick a favorite.
Well, that's what I tell everyone when we talk about this museum. You just can't describe how incredible it is. This is something that you have to see for yourself to believe it. Did you, all that we had said about it, could you even imagine?
You really can't. I mean, it's more than what you expect, because I've seen motorcycle collections before, but this is so much wrapped into one. I do have to say, though, as far as a highlight, it had to be that ice racer bike with the pegs, the spikes in the tire, and the handlebars. That was the most interesting thing I'd ever seen.
I had never seen anything like that before, and I don't believe that was here last year, was it?
No, it was not. If it was here, it was not on the floor.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I loved it.
It was.
I had a great time.
I did too.
Again.
All right, next trip.
Come to Phil Brady. Every Tuesday is open mic comedy and acoustic jam night. Daily lunch specials just $5. Phil Brady, 4848 Government Street, Baton Rouge, where you can park your bike right next to the door.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the blue chip athlete to blue collar worker. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
No matter what you do with your hands, they are important to you. Injury and disease of the hand, wrist, and forearm can range from mildly irritating to debilitating, putting the things you love out of reach. Dr. Joe Morgan of the Bone and Joint Clinic of Baton Rouge is a noted hand specialist and recognized as one of the best doctors in America. Dr. Morgan specializes in operative and non-operative treatment of hand injuries and disorders. So don't let problems with your hands spoil your ride. Call a fellow rider. Call Dr. Joe Morgan.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from long drivers to unlucky drivers. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Come to Phil Brady. Join the Blues Jam on Thursday nights. Enjoy live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Phil Brady, 4848 Government Street, Baton Rouge, where you can park your bike right next to the door.
You know, it's one thing to see so many wonderful vintage motorcycles in one place, but the Barber Museum itself is a work of art.
The track, the building, the motorcycles, and all the events that they host there at Barber make it a top destination for motorcycle lovers from all over the world. If you want it, they have it at Barber.
It's true, and the exhibit is constantly changing with over 1,200 motorcycles. There's always something new to see. I'm ready to go back now.
Hold your horses there, Cowgirl. We've got a lot more riding to do before we head back to Birmingham.
Well, you know what? First, I think I'm in the mood for a little Texas barbecue. I think this chrome cowgirl's headed to the Texas Hill Country. I'll see you guys next week.
See you later.
Brought to you by the Louisiana Office of Tourism Trails and Byways Program. Louisiana is full of stories. Yours begins here. Southeast Louisiana Gumbo. Great roads, interesting destinations, and terrific food. Come to Southeast Louisiana. And Houma, Louisiana, your passport to adventure in the heart of Louisiana's wetlands. Closed captioning of America on Two Wheels is sponsored by Ball Insurance. Ball Insurance compares rates for you so you can save up to 40% on your motorcycle insurance. Call toll-free 800-444-7014 and let a Ball agent help you start saving today. Or visit us online at ballins.com.
God bless chrome cowgirls like us.